All right, so I just came out here to actually talk about war. All right, 'cause I think war is I think actually could explain everything because if you actually looked at the aspects of history of war, on how war started and how it came to be and how it is now, war back in the day. I mean, if you talk about caveman age, I mean you got fists. You got any weapon that you can make back in the day. And as time went on, shit got better. We got arrows. We got accuracy. We had swords. And skill. Determination. To be able to actually take a sword in the chest or an arrow in the throat and still fight. You might die afterwards, but you fought back. You didn't. You made him work for that kill. All right, and I'm just thinking about back in the day, especially if you can think about the modern day. If you think about the feminist movement starting back in the medieval age, it just makes me laugh. Because women didn't. I mean, I'm sure they had opinions. I mean, we're not dumb, okay? We know they had opinions. They probably didn't like how things were, but they just said fuck it. What's important. But I don't know. I just war. I mean, about how I used. I mean, I don't know if it's completely like how the movies were or how history teaches you, but you had generals that fought the end wars to save their men. You had generals calling out their toughest soldier to go fight the other man's toughest soldier, and whoever won the war, won the battle. Maybe not the war, but more the battle. But you had to deal with arrows and bows. You had to deal with swords and shields and great swords and maces. You had to deal with burning, hot tar being dumped on you. You had to deal with lighting that shit on fire and burning alive. You know, and now it's like, what is war nowadays? I'm sorry, but I have mad respect for the soldiers. I have my own personal beliefs on military. All right, but in the common goal of the great of all, soldiers are needed to, even if what I think is true, we need soldiers to fight to keep the people at bay, to let everybody know that we have a force that's not to be reckoned with. All right, it's no different than Vikings coming over and the Vikings chose the most psychotic, brutalist, biggest men to go pillage because they wanted to. They it's no different than morality. It's playing against the opposite sides of morality. To either get your morale up or get it down. And if you saw fucking 6'5", fucking 7 foot tall, crazy short fuckers with sharp teeth and battle axes and great swords coming out, you were gonna what the fuck are we fighting? Demons? You know? So I mean, and back then, I mean, you gotta also think about back then, a lot of the government conspiracies and more civilized kind of thought process we have nowadays really wasn't known back then. We actually our science was magic. Did Odin or God or the devil actually possess this man? That was able to take down 50 people and just hack them in half. Was the devil behind him? We had Odin's wisdom and foresight, that we had scribes and bone readers, you know, throw bones down on the ground and read the bones to tell us if war was good or bad. But nowadays it's like, what is war nowadays? I mean, I'm not gonna say war made back in the day. War did not make sense. It was bloodthirsty. It was brutal. But what is war now? Besides stupid, there's no honor. There's no respect. I mean, there's nothing to gain from it really. I mean, what is war now? But just children throwing a tantrum. That's all war is nowadays. It's just children throwing a tantrum because they want the shiniest toy or they want to go play over there and they're not allowed to. And it's like war nowadays is pathetic. There's nothing really on in my personal opinion, and it kind of goes with my more deeper personal opinion. But there's nothing honorable about fighting nowadays in war. There's nothing honorable. And back in the day, it wasn't really honorable, but there was at least some honor in it. We had a code. I mean, my personal belief, we had a code in it. There's no code now. What the hell is it? I mean, shit. Back when we came to find America, giving Native Americans, blankets that had biological warfare on it, giving them smallpox to choke out their kids so we could slaughter the tribes. That's what Thanksgiving's for. I call it happy slaughter day. All right, Thanksgiving is a joke of a holiday. I mean, think about it. Like, Native Americans were here first. We came over here and somehow made all this, but Native Americans been here the whole time and didn't feel like it was necessary to do all this. And look how the society's going. Are we happy that this is the way the world's going? I mean, this video mainly has to do with war, but I think everything I talk about in these videos, I feel like they all go together. It's all a spider web. They make a beautiful spider web that has a purpose. And I mean, every bug that gets caught in the spider web feeds the spider. Every vibration in that spider web lets them know that food is there and lets them know where the food is. That's how creepy spiders are. Okay, a spider, a fly gets caught in the web over here, and the vibration of that web of the fly moving around trying to get out lets the spider know exactly where he's at, so he can wrap him up there. All right, and that's no different than life, the world, and all that. The vibrations, the ripples, the bad moments, the good moments, they all let us know, the get off the path that we're on, to stay on the path we're on, to learn from the situation that we're in, to move forward. So it's like, I mean, I think everything that I talk about in these videos, uh, all have to do with the big picture. Um, like yeah, so I mean, this all has to do with war. I mean, it's a good chunk of it. I think that's the main focal point of what I'm. I mean, there's war, there's peace, there's compassion and excuses. Um, I think excuses are more on the middle ground, to not deal with the bullshit that you did and not deal with the bullshit they did, just to make excuse to move past it. Um, but I don't know. It's just war nowadays. I mean, we have biological warfare. We have nanobite technology. We have missiles. We have helicopters and planes that can drop, shit to fucking light up a fucking, field. Or we have a nuke that can end everything. All right, that's the main thing that scares the shit out of me. We didn't have. I mean, can you imagine if we had nukes back then? I mean, we wouldn't be here. It's just that I'm hoping I'm able to post this video because I've been having issues with my fucking site because I speak too much truth and people don't like it. Um, I'm free from the Matrix. I'm still stuck in it. It's like I'm okay. I think the best way to describe it is Deadpool. All right, how he understands the fourth dimension. the how he talks to people in the comic books, how he leaves the comic book, but he always comes back to the comic book. That's how I feel. Like I know this reality is so fucked up. I know what's going on. I don't care what people call me. I know what's going on. Um, but this war, and what are we fighting for? I mean, back in the day, I mean, we were fighting for stupid shit as well, but at least we were fighting for something. I mean, now it's like, what are we fighting for? What are we waging war on other countries for? I mean, especially America. I mean, that's where I'm at. So that's what I'm going off of. I'm in America. I mean, like, it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a fucking shit fucking town. It's a shit fucking country. It's a shit fucking city. But compared to the other shit fucking countries, I'm living pretty good. All right, like I don't have to. I mean, really go to work right now or do anything to have a place for my head, have a place for my kids. So and we have so many programs out here that help people. So I mean, like, shout out to America, but it's still a shit fucking country. Our government is I mean, joke. And that's the shitty part is that our government speaks for us. I mean, take a page from Myron's playbook about how a woman is a reflection of her man, and your guys' children is a reflection of your guys' relationship. All right, so if that's how that works, then what does that say about us with our president? I mean, because honestly, if you look at it, our president is supposed to be a leader, the leader, the male in the relationship, and we're the female. That's what society is the female. And yet, in the female aspects in building this society, we do the man's job. We build everything. We fix everything. We create everything. We buy everything. We break everything. And the woman and the president just does nothing but pass bills and make our life a living hell. So I don't know what is going on with this world. I mean, yeah, kind of just stuck my thoughts, but I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, what is the point for everything? I mean, I know the meaning of life is to have kids, to build a family that helps us, the human race, society grow and stay here. I mean, because, like, come on now. I mean, until we figure out the key to immortality, I mean, like, if we stop having kids in this day and age, I don't care if you're dumb, stupid, retarded, intelligent, intellectual, genius. All right, I don't care what level you are. All right, if everybody stops having kids, the human population would just cease to exist. Like, so we have to keep having kids. At least 50% of the human race has to at least keep having kids. Anything lower, anything lower than 50%, all right, of the human population having kids leads to the human population doing incest. Does people not realize that? I know this is going off topic, but it all play. I like I said, I believe all this plays together. But if the human race, like half of the human race, just stops having kids, and only 50% of 100 continues having kids, that means sooner or later, our kids are gonna be related. So that's what. Come on now, people. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks this shit. I really can't be the only one that thinks this crap. Like, think about it. We have 300 million people in the United States. If half of those people, and this is talking about back in the day kind of things, because there was a time when America didn't have, I mean, one, it didn't have any place in this world, but there was a time when other countries didn't interact with each other. There was a time when Spaniards stayed with Spaniards, Germans stayed with Germans, Irish stayed with Irish, Mexicans stayed with Mexicans, Black African place stayed with African. If half of your population only had kids, that means sooner or later, after a few generations, your kids will be dating your kids. If you actually think about it, don't go all fucking on me, because if you actually think about it, I'm right. So that's why, I mean, and I'm sorry, but the human race doesn't think about. I know I'm going way off topic because I started this whole video with war and all that, but it goes with soldiers. I mean, if only half America has kids, that means sooner or later, after a few fucking relationships, I mean, and honestly, I'm with my girl and we're together for 30 years. We have kids, and those kids, and that's 20, like 2 decades. Once they're adults and they go live out on their own, and then they have to go interact with people. And only if half the human race is having kids, I mean, come on now. Look how evolution goes. I mean, that means sooner or later, as time goes on, if only half are having kids, then that's gonna shrink more. So that's why, I mean, I'm a firm believer that people need to start having more kids. We are not overpopulating this planet. All right, that's such a bullshit reply. There's no way, unless we have 900 trillion people on this planet. I mean, come on, look at it. Look how big this planet is. How can we overpopulate this planet? I mean, really. I mean, with our intellect, we could be growing so much. If we stop worrying about money and me, and the shiny toys, and they get this and they get that, and just be so full of ourselves. Like, and we just worried about the necessities that we needed. I'm not saying forget about the fun stuff. Just don't make it priority. All right, make what we need priority and what you want or whatever. All right, and if we just built trees everywhere, fruit and all that, I mean, like, there's no way. I mean, if we actually had a brain and actually cared about how we're treating this planet and how we're treating each other and what we all want and need, come on, the biggest fucking picture. Nobody wants people going to war for the rest of our lives. Why are we like fighting constantly? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a small fight in our city, a big fight in our state, or a huge war for our countries. We're always fucking fighting. Between black and white, to rich and poor, to drug addict and not. Like, we're always fighting and bickering with each other. I mean, families are being torn apart. People don't talk to each other because they voted for the wrong president. Like, is that really something to worry